Good evening. Tonight I'm going to talk about a band called Bratach Bana and a CD called Shetland Lights. I'm going to do this questions and answers because I found it easier to do it this way. So we'll start with question 1. Who were in the band and when was it formed? There were 6 members of Bratach Bana. It was Andy Ritchie, Barbara Ann Burnett, Eddie Connor, John Simpson, Sandy Fetis and myself. And with Gordon Mackay as our very hard working manager. We formed the band in the year 2006. Question 2. What would be the highlights of the band's time together? 2 come to mind. The first one being when we were accepted to play on the Danny Kyle Open Stage in Celtic Connections in Glasgow. It takes part in the exhibition hall during the Celtic Connections itself, and I think the top 2 bands go through and get a supporting role the following year. We just narrowly missed getting through, but it was great fun in our little minibus going down there and coming back, stopping for fish suppers at Forfar and stuff like that. It was really good. The second would be the launch of the CD, Shetland Lights, in the Belvedere Hotel in Stonehaven, and thanks goes to the Stonehaven Folk Club because it was done during their annual festival. Question 3. Where and when was the CD Shetland Lights recorded and who were the sound engineers? Okay, the Shetland Lights were recorded in May 2007 at Aden Park in Mintlaw, the little studio there. And we actually did it in 2 consecutive 12-hour weekends with some nights in between. It's quite a short length. It was 60 hours and the whole thing was done. Luckily there was a little kitchen up the stairs because we must have drank about 1,000 gallons of tea during the recordings and the playbacks. The sound engineers were a guy called James Hunter, a superb sound engineer, and Gavin Sutherland himself, part of a band, the Sutherland Brothers. You remember Lying in the Arms of Mary, the big hit that they had. They guided us well on something that we'd not a clue about. Question 4. What did you find the hardest thing about recording the CD? There's 2 things actually. The main thing was we were well rehearsed for this. You must be rehearsed before you can go near a studio. And we spent about 4,000 hours of rehearsal time, mainly at John's house. We need to thank John and Lindsay for providing us with the good pieces and the tea and coffee when we were doing that. So we were really prepped up, ready to go once we got to the studio. The first thing I found very hard was the way they set it up, because I had to sit with the guitar and play the song all the way through. No singing, no sound, no mumbling, no humming, nothing, just the guitar into a mic. And then that was used as the bass line and then built the song, vocals, different instruments on the top of that. I found that hard. That was, you had to sing it in your head kind of thing. The second was singing into a mic where you can't hear your voice because you're hearing other singers coming through the headphones that you're wearing. So that takes a bit of getting used to as well. Question 5. What about the tracks on the CD? Okay, the selection process, we all got together and decided what we were going to do, and the title track, The Shetland Lights, was a song I'd written a few years before when we were over in Shetland on a visit there with a band called Chirry, played in Chirry at that time. It was based on someone working on the offshore on the oil rigs and missing his wife back on the farm in Shetland, and the oil rigs were just coming into sort of being at that time. Lots of people were moving offshore to work. We've got to thank the Lions Side for the photograph. I'll show you on here. This is the Shetland Lights album, and it's a Balmoral platform. Oh, I'm upside down. The Balmoral platform that you could see on the front. And a huge thanks also goes to Gordon, our manager, but also Gordon that built us a website for the band and put all the artwork together for the CD. Thanks also goes to Peter Hockey for his musical talents and musical knowledge. Together with Sandy and John, they did most of the tunes and the arrangements for the CD. There's 3 tracks I would like to talk about on the album. First one is called The White Horse of Mormond. It was adapted from a poem by the Reverend Charles Burney from Stricken, and it tells the tale of the White Horse on Mormond Hill and why it's there, and the story of the White Horse itself and what happened there. It was a magical moment with Barbara Ann and myself when the CD was eventually printed out, that we actually went to Stricken and presented a copy to Charlie himself. And he was fair chuffed at getting that from us. The second track I'd like to talk about is a track called Mary Hamilton's Lament. Now this is an adaptation of the song The Four Marys, of which Mary Hamilton was one, and John came up with the idea of starting with a poem that he read himself, and it was a brilliantly read poem about Mary Hamilton and her demise. So it kind of worked well together with the song itself. The last one I'd like to talk about is Easy Chair. This is a Bob Dylan cover that we did, we banified it, and I wanted it to sound like a bar in the Wild West, and that's how we got the honky-tonk piano into it as well. The individual instrumental pieces, which had harmonica, fiddle, accordion and piano, they were inspired by the intro and outro by the Bonzo Dog Doodah Band, which I used to think was brilliant how they did that. Question 6. Was there ever a plan for a second CD? We did have material for a second CD, yes. You'll find it on the website. There still is songs on there that were recorded in concerts. We went to the studio to start the second CD, but it was done, decided to do it like piecemeal, doing little bits at a time, a track here, a track there, and for some reason it never worked. It never had the impetus of the first CD, how that was done in a block. So it was kind of stopped. We put a stop to it at that stage and shelved it for the time being. And then we've all kind of gone our separate musical ways at that time. But well, you never know. You never know. Who knows? Now, the last question: are there still copies of the CD Shetland Lights? Yes, there are. In the Folk Club, we do have copies of Shetland Lights. And what we're going to do with them, we're going to sell them for £5 plus postage and packing. The £5 will go to the Folk Club's charity fund, because we give to local charities every year. And then if you contact us through the website or the club website, you'll be able to get details of how to get the album. It's a really good CD. It's a good mix of songs and tunes. We're going to finish up with showing you a short video of the band rehearsing Dougie MacLean's song Ready for a Storm, as I was playing at the start, in the village hall in Cruden Bay. And we've got some views of Slane's Castle and the wild sea crashing on the rocks. I hope you enjoy the video, and thanks for listening.
The sailor's bones to the sailor's soul, till there's nothing left that he can hold except the rolling ocean. But I am ready for the storm. Yes, sir, ready. I am ready for the storm. I'm ready for the storm. Oh, give me mercy for my dreams, 'cause every confrontation seems to tell me what it really means to be this lonely sailor. And when the sky begins to clear, the sun it melts away my fear. I'll cry a silent weary tear for those that need to love me.